For the small business owner of the world, the COVID-19 pandemic has become more than a health crisis. According to a survey of over 1,500 small business owners conducted by Goldman Sachs, 96% say they have already been impacted financially by COVID-19. The inability to run businesses during social distancing and major reductions in cash flow has forced many business owners to close their doors, temporarily affecting employees and their families. Luckily, the federal and state government and private sectors companies have acted quickly in creating plans to assist small businesses in the forms of loans, grants, and funding. Thanks for joining us again on TVN Business Daily. I am Chiwendu Osisiego, and today we shall be discussing on financing businesses amidst COVID-19 pandemic. It is confronting to know that amid this pandemic, the federal government is making strong efforts to soothe the economic disaster that is accompanying it. The federal and state governments have designed relief and loan programs in the last month to support small businesses that are suffering in our current climate. To discuss further, my guest is in the studio to discuss on financing business amidst COVID-19 pandemic. But before we go into details, let's look at the business stories making headlines. Stay with us. The Naira sold for 430 Naira to a dollar on Monday, gaining some strength over previous week sales figure following the resumption of forex sale by the Central Bank of Nigeria on April 29, 2020. After 4 weeks of forex sale suspension, the CBN resumed the provision of foreign exchange to all commercial banks for onward sale to parents wishing to pay school fees and small businesses wishing to make essential imports needed to revamp economic activities across the country. The President Association of Bureau de Change Operator of Nigerian, Alhaji Aminu Gwabade, said the partial lifting of the suspension on forex helped to flatten the curve in the forex market. The Director of Corporate Communication, CBN, Isaac Okorafo, has stated that the CBN had made complete arrangements to resume foreign exchange sales to the BDC segment of the market for business travels, personal travels, and all that designated retail uses as soon as international flight resumes. The federal government has revised upward the independent revenue projection from ministries, departments, and agencies in the current fiscal period by 66.9 billion naira to 916.87 billion naira. The new amount represents an increase of 7.87% over the original projection of 849.97 billion naira. The 916.87 billion naira independence revenue is contained in the revised 2020 budget proposal of 10.27 trillion naira, which has been submitted to the National Assembly. Out of the estimated revenue projections of 916.87 billion naira, about 436.94 billion naira is planned to be realized from 10 of the agencies. Some of the top agencies, according to findings at the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Nigerian Insurance Deposits Corporation, the National Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, and the Nigerian Communications Commission, and many more. The bull maintained its grip on the market activities following gains recorded majorly by blue chip stocks as investors position to leverage undervalued stocks. The key market performance measures, the NSE All-Share Index and market capitalization, rose by 0.30% as market sentiment extended gaining strike following investors' sustained optimism on undervalued stocks. However, the rally, according to market watchers, was driven by bargain hunting activities on the back of undervalued stocks following renewed appetite in anticipation of share appreciation. Consequently, the all-share index grew by 68.85 basic points or 0.30% from 23,021.01 index point last Friday to 23,089.86, while the market capitalization of equities appreciated by 36 billion naira to close at 12.033 trillion naira from 11.997 trillion naira. Nigerians will pay much higher tariff for power in 2021, going by promises made by the federal government to the International Monetary Fund while seeking the $3.4 billion in emergency financial assistance recently approved for Nigeria. The executive board of the IMF approved the rapid financial instrument which the federal government plans to use to address the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic in the country on April 28. A letter of intent jointly signed by the Finance Minister Zainab Ahmed and the Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, and addressed by the IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva indicated that the federal government made a number of promises to fund it in order to secure the financial assistance. One of the promises or commitments the government made in a bid to assure the executive board of the IMF to its readiness to reposition the Nigerian economy after the pandemic is that Nigerians will pay full cost-reflective tariff for power in 2021. And that's the business update on Television Nigerian. I am Chiwendu Osisiago. We shall be going on a quick break. The program continues shortly. My name is Chiwendu Osisiago, presenter of Television Nigerian Business Daily. In a globalizing world, ours is to keep you engaged, informed, and educated on contemporary happenings in the business world. We therefore command a special audience of business-minded viewers who are eager to know more about business. I mean, your business. Why don't you take advantage of our special affordable offer to let the world know about your concepts, your goods, and of course, your services? You can call us on 080-3071-6959 or 070-3234-9054. You can also visit us at Television Nigerian in Guzapi, Abuja, and follow us on all the social media handles on Facebook, YouTube, and of course, Twitter at Television Nigerian. Your business is our concern. Thanks for staying with us, and in case you're just joining us, it's CTV and Business. Like I stated earlier, we shall be discussing on financing business amidst COVID-19 pandemic. And of course, my guest is here with me in the studio. She's an entrepreneur and she owns a non-profit organization here in Abuja. She is Mrs. Chika Ofoyi. Welcome to TV and Business.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Nice to be here. Again, talking about this COVID-19 pandemic, the federal government had actually relaxed it from May 4th, 2020. So how do you think people can actually finance a business in the midst of this COVID-19 pandemic?
It's an opportunity.
Okay.
Because this pandemic has opened our eyes to a lot of things. One is that we are importing too much. Two is that there's a great opportunity now. For instance, face mask has become something that everybody has to use, and we don't even know how long it will last. That's a business opportunity. And then PPEs, personal protective equipment for tailors, are here now. The gowns, the gloves, the coveralls, and so many things. That's a business opportunity. Digitalization. Did you notice that while we were at home, businesses were still going on? People were communicating through the internet. You had Zoom. You have different kinds of things. This is the opportunity that the youths need. Those people who like technology, who like to develop apps. This is the time for you to develop apps like Zoom. I mean, why can't you develop your own? For me, it is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for the country to reassess where we are and start to change things. Most of the things that we import, start making them in Nigeria. And then when you start making these things in Nigeria, it's human beings that will make them. Those people will make money. So for me, this period of COVID-19, it has its bad sides because as of today, 7 people have died. But however, it's a reassessment. The youths, if you have a business, start to think of what you can do. There's so many things to do. So many things to do. So many, it's unbelievable. What is in vogue now? Internet. Digitalization of everything. Apps. That is where the world is heading towards. The youths have to head in that direction. That's one. Secondly, agric. People must eat. Throughout this COVID period, people were eating. Even if you didn't have money to buy clothes, you had to eat. Agriculture. And the government is doing so much now. There's so many things. Go online. Central Bank is giving loans for different kinds of things. Different lovely things that people can key into. I encourage our youths. I encourage our women. Go the extra mile. Find out what the government is doing in the area of agriculture. Find out what organizations are doing in the area of technology and key in. Manufacturing, this is the time. Tell us, this is your season. There's so many things to do. I can assure you, it's not going to be business as usual. A lot of people will lose their jobs, are already losing their jobs. You have to start thinking of what to do. And guess what? Let nothing be too small for you to start with. Do not detest humble beginning. Start now, because if you don't start, what will you be doing with your time?
Okay, a lot of people actually save money even before the pandemic, when we
Yes.
started. But as this pandemic came, they had to sustain themselves and their families,
Yes.
to feed and all, and they spent virtually all their savings. And now that the pandemic has been relaxed, how do you advise them to start a business with nothing in their pockets?
That's why I said the central bank is giving loans. There's so many loans going on. That's one. You can go and work for somebody for less. For instance, if at your organization that you're working with, they're paying you, I'm just saying, maybe 200,000, you can take a pay cut to start and say, instead of sacking me, I'll take a pay cut. And then entrepreneurs who are so fast to sack, discuss with your team and tell them, will you take 50% so that this business can still continue? Will you take 70%? Will you take 60%? People are willing to negotiate because people need to feed as at this time. So these are the kind of things that for me, entrepreneurs should start doing. Instead of very quickly sack, very quickly go. No. Call your team. They are your team. Discuss with them. Tell them, I cannot pay you this amount for the time being, but I can pay you this amount. When things improve, everything will improve. People have to start being ingenious as to have to make sure that we don't, because the more people you sack, armed robbery. The more people you sack, issues, stealing, different kinds of things will crop up. That is not what we want in the country. And the government also has to assist. Private sector has to assist. People who have money have to assist at this time. All hands must be on deck at this time. Because it's not normal. What is happening today, in my lifetime as old as I am, and I'm old, I have never seen it before. That the whole world was grounded to a halt. Unbelievable.
Okay, you talked about the federal government, right, to help.
Yeah,
okay, do you think the federal government should include a program for unemployed youth to, to curb the level of security in Nigeria today?
Yes, the federal government already has some things that they are doing. It's for people to go and look for them. There's so many things that are happening. Only the few people are enjoying it. There are loans that they are giving. Go and find out. Let it be that you found out that they didn't give you, then you start to talk. But many people don't even know where to go. Go online. The federal government has to help, but the government cannot do it alone. Private sector has to help. All of us have to help. There's agriculture. There's manufacturing. Do you know Nigeria is like a virgin land? Instead of waiting to import everything from China and from everywhere, start to make some of these things here. Did you ever think that you can do PPE in Nigeria? Yeah. Do you know that countries like Senegal are building a lot of things, even testing? They're developing different kinds of things. Do you know that it's possible there was a time in this country that vaccines were produced in this country? Yellow fever, in Yaba. Do you know that there was a time that this country called Nigeria they were manufacturing different kinds of things? Do you know that materials and Kara and all these things were manufactured in Kaduna? There's so many everything. A lot of things have grounded to a halt. Let them pick them up again. Let them pick them up again. And then once we pick them up, people will be employed. I believe in manufacturing. I believe in agriculture. I believe in technology. These are areas that once you, in Nigeria, there's space.
Okay, now before we get the views of Nigerians on the rate of unemployment in the country, yes, what is your own view, looking at the fact that the rate of unemployment in Nigeria has deeply increased, and a lot of people have lost their jobs, yes, now people are looking for what to do. So what's your think?
The rate of employment in the world has increased. It's not only peculiar to Nigeria. The rate of unemployment in Nigeria is very high, and there's no doubt about it. Yeah. So we have to do something about it. Like now, when you finish from university, what do you want to do with yourself? If you say, like now, I have a non-profit, and then we got a grant in Delta Warri.
Okay.
Some of my staff refused to work. They resigned because they said they cannot go to Warri. They're youths. They said they cannot go to Warri. Tomorrow, that youth will come on television and come on social media and say he's looking for work. Meanwhile, there were others who were willing to go, and they went to Warri. I mean, when you are young and you're 20s, you can go anywhere. You're not married. What is holding you back? People are too selective. I want this job, I want it. The way the world is now, it's not like that anymore. It's not like you can't select. This one happened to me, my own organization. Some of my staff resigned because they didn't want to go to Warri.
Seems Nigerian youth these days are very lazy now to do things.
No, I won't say they're lazy. I will not say they're lazy. They're not lazy. A lot of things are happening today that is very discouraging. In my parents' days, when you finish your university, a job is waiting for you.
Yeah.
In my own time, it became more difficult. Unfortunately, in your time, it's even far more difficult because a lot of people are graduates, a lot of people need jobs. But entrepreneurs, go and start your small business. This one of mask. Do you know that we're over 200 million? 200 million people need mask.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's an opening. You know what I'm saying? PPE, the coveralls, people need them. That's an opening. So people are manufacturing shoes. That's an opening. Agriculture, people must eat. That's an opening. Fish farming, people must eat. That's an opening. You know, and then technology, that one. That's one. There's space for everybody. People are developing apps. People are, whatever it is that makes you happy, go for it. I believe that passion for what you do is what will drive you. Because at the beginning, it's always difficult for everyone. It's always very difficult. It might take time for you to start to make the money that you're expecting. But when you're doing what you love, if for instance, what you love to do is sewing, you like to sew. But the first time you sew, it might be difficult. But the only thing that will keep you there, and so you don't give up, is because you're doing what you love. I believe that people should do what they love. Like me, I like to talk.
That's what you're talking.
That's what I'm talking.
Yeah. Now let's go on a quick break, and when we return, we'll continue. So stay with us.
Hi, my name is Praise and I'm talking to you from Ghana. We all know what's happening in the world. The pandemic has hit each and every one of us so hard, and we are just looking forward to a day where we're going to cross over to the other side and things are going to get back to normal. In Ghana at the moment, some workers are being laid off work, and as I speak to you, the rate of unemployment is on the high side. There are no jobs anywhere. People are just trying to be their own, to be entrepreneurs and get to do what they have to do to survive. So I don't think anyone is really depending on looking for a job at the moment, because everyone wants to do one or two things to earn a living. So we are looking forward to that day where we're going to cross over to the other side. But the unemployment rate, I beg your pardon, in Ghana is on the high side.
We all know that we all understand the pandemic that actually rocked the whole world. So the recent figure of 33.5%, that means unemployment rate actually rose from what it used to be to 33.5%. I think it used to be about 23.1% as of 2018, 2019. But I think my advice to everybody is that we should all try to face agriculture. There's a lot of things we can actually tap into, and I'm sure the government has a lot of infrastructures, a lot of programs in place for agriculture. Look at agriculture, entertainment, and all that. I think those are the things we can actually tap on. And then my advice is that each region should actually maximize on the resources they have right now.
Hello, I'm Olukunla Victor. The unemployment rate in Nigeria is so alarming. As in, every few months we congratulate couples who pass out in batches. But critically thinking about that, where are they actually going to? Into the labor market where there is no job available for them. Now with the recent COVID-19 outbreak, imagine 50% of private sectors who are going to lay off their staffs. I don't know if you heard about the recent news. Access Bank are going to sack 75% of their staffs. Come on, man, where are these people going to? So the employment rate in Nigeria is just so alarming. Imagine those are the people who you hear about. There's so many who don't even come out to tell you that okay, we are going to retain these staffs. Unemployment rate in Nigeria itself is a case study right now.
Hi, good evening. My name is Oluwadara, and I would like to talk about the unemployment rate in Nigeria. The unemployment rate in Nigeria is very, very high, and this is due to corruption, unavailability of resources, and low education programs. The solutions to unemployment that I will suggest is better education programs. There should be more motivation activities, and there should be support for personal businesses. With this, the rate of unemployment in Nigeria will move from being high to being low. Thank you.
Hi dear, I'm Ebo Ada. The rate of unemployment in the country is increasing at an alarming rate, and that is because supply of labor has far exceeded its demand. A lot of capable youths that are highly qualified have resorted to doing blue-collar jobs as against the white-collar jobs that are highly unavailable. They have resorted to entering into businesses in order to find income to keep body and soul together. Now, the solution to this high increase of unemployment will be to diversify the economy. Sectors like the textile industry, the agricultural industry, even the sports industry can be harnessed in order to create jobs for the teeming population of Nigerian youths that are left to do nothing. And I believe crime rates, and all vices that are affecting the society can also be curbed if more jobs are being created when the economy is diversified. Thank you.
Just joining us is Still TV and Business, and of course we'll be discussing on financing businesses amidst COVID-19 pandemic in the country. And we have an entrepreneur here in the studio. She is Mrs. Chika Ofo.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Okay, we talked about the rate of unemployment in Nigeria.
Yes.
So how do you think the youth can actually optimize the employment opportunities in the access of white-collar job?
Okay, like if you know you're very entrepreneurial, some people that have ideas and they have great ideas. Write out your idea. Write out that your great idea that you have and give it to people who you feel can finance it. And guess what? When you see people that can finance your idea, don't say, let me give an example. You have an idea to do a particular face mask that we have not seen before. It's a special type of face mask. And you have this intellectual, this is your knowledge, and you have the idea, and it's a beautiful idea. And then you write it out, you draw it, and it's a beautiful thing. And then you go to, for instance, a very big company that maybe sews, and you're going to that company because you want it to spread to the whole of Nigeria, and you don't have that capacity, and you don't have the money. And then after you have done that, you go to meet them, and the people now say, you know what, I like your idea, but I'm going to give you 30% of the profit, I'm going to take 70%. Many people will give up.
And it's something.
Meanwhile, you keep your idea, you don't give it to anybody. No, nothing is new. Before you know it, next 1 month, somebody else will bring that idea. 100% of nothing is nothing. So what you will do is say, yes, please, let me take the 30%, but let me do this, let me do that. And then once you enter into it and you start to, you can only get better. You must humble yourself first. That's the challenge a lot of people have. They have great ideas, but they want everything. So we say, okay, give me 10 million to do the idea. Then I will pay you 5% profit. No business person will agree with you. I'm a Christian. So I say this. The Bible says wisdom is the principal thing. And in your get understanding. You have to understand the way a business person's mind works. And then once you have that understanding, you can now put pen to paper and tell yourself, I'd rather make 500,000 from this thing than make nothing. You'll be surprised that once people see that you are that kind of person, a lot of people will start calling you. Before you know it, become big.
And I think if you don't have patience, if you cannot withstand challenges, I don't think you can actually start a business. You can't, because at the beginning of every business, it's not really easy. Even for 5 years, for the first 5 years, it might not really be as easy as you want.
I've done many businesses, and many of them have failed. Wow. And then until now, you can have 20 ideas and 19 will fail, but one that will make it will be the difference.
Now, you looking back at businesses that you did that failed, how is it like?
Oh my God. Some of the mistakes I made, I won't make them now.
Yeah.
Like I used to bring clothes, I used to import clothes and sell, in Nigeria. I used to import from China, from Italy, from UK and all that, and bring it to Nigeria and everything. The mistake I made first and foremost, I spent so much money on the rent. On the rent of the place. That's one. Then secondly, it's a dollar business. Immediately the dollar moved from 150 to 360. The business became useless. Because if before, by the time you add all your expenses, add a little profit, you can sell a top for 3,000 or 4,000. And that was when dollar was 150, 170. Now dollar became 360. Are you going to sell that? How much are you going to sell that to? You're going to sell it for 8,000, 7,000, 10,000. I mean, when Nigeria doesn't have money.
Okay, ma, finally, your final thoughts to our viewers out there and probably to the federal government of Nigeria.
Yes, first to the youths.
Okay.
Don't give up. You are young, and because you are young, everything is at your doorstep. Whatever ideas you have, write it down and show it to people. And whenever people are willing to support, agree. It does not matter. Federal government, please support our youths.
Yeah.
A lot is happening. So many talents everywhere. And then now that we are where we are, let us stop importing. Let us manufacture what we can. And let us use what we have manufactured, no matter how terrible it is. If we're starting now, it cannot be like other developed countries because we're just starting. So it probably might not be so perfect, but let us use what we have. I'm willing to use what we have and not import anything. You know, so the government, the private sector, the youths themselves, people who are entrepreneurs, let's all come together and change this country. It's in our hands. We can do it.
Yes, we can do it if only we are determined to
yes,
do it.
yes, yes.
All right,
yes.
thank you so much, Mrs. Chika Ofokom, for coming on TV and Business.
Yes.
It was good to have you. I
Yes,
learned
I'm
a
honored
lot.
to be here.
Yeah. All right, that's the much you have for you today on TV and Business Daily. I am Chiwendu Usisiego. And don't forget that you can follow us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitter at Television Nigerian. To have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much.